Mm, geek, I'm super geek. Mm. Hmm. Hey, what's up, Bandit Blitz? Yo, that gap up on Nasdaq was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy on that gap up. I'm doing all right, man. What's up with you? Was able to make a little bit of money on this thing, man. Was able to catch this little gold, or not this this Nasdaq push. Was able to catch this gold dump before it pushed back up. So as y'all guys can see, I was shit before the session really even started, up 3K on the day. I'm gonna trade another account and lock that 3K in today. So what a time to trade the Nasdaq. You know, I always trying to find justification on trading the ES. I just can't ever find one. I just can't ever find one. I'm just not in tune with ES, even though it's a easier instrument to trade, less noise. You can trade heavier size. I just can't. It just requires so much mental resources. I think that's probably why I always find myself back at the NQ, because she doesn't require mental resources. It's she's more emotional than mental, because she'll hit your target. She'll hit a 50, 60 point target without the need for a retracement. It will go straight up to your target without the need for price action, which is a good and bad thing, because if you're on the wrong side of it, you don't manage risk, well, uh, your account can be gone. That's why the NASDAQ requires account sacrifice, because you want to be successful, maybe one or more of your accounts have to be sacrificed for the one that you want to be successful in can flourish. So that's always going to be the double-edged sword about trading the NASDAQ when moves like this happen and you're on the right or wrong side of it. And then you get days where the market just chops. Those are usually the tougher days, but usually when the market finally picks a direction, it goes right back to going straight to target. That's what we absolutely love about the Nasdaq. So, you know what? My gut. So this is a gut feeling. I think we probably sell back down. I think we sell back down. The reason why I say that is because this is the trade news, and we all know how the game is played. Buy the rumor, sell the news. The market was buying the market, or participants were buying in the anticipation of the EU deal, the Europe deal. And this is the news. So I do think that we see a pullback. I do think that we see a pullback. Uh, I think we might get one last hurrah, one last attempt. And if the Bulls can hold it, then I would be confident that we can make all new all-time highs. But if not, I do think we'll probably chop and then drop, pull back. I mean, we've seen this price action before. Unless the market, where's my give me a second. Screen draw tool? Oh, there it is right there. I mean, at least unless the market bounces off of this 21 EMA right here and we see a breaker structure up and the price kind of doing this right here, we could just chop to the right on this one. I doubt that there's any volume in the market right now either. I doubt it. I think so too. I think so too. Bears are getting those flashbacks again. Bears are definitely getting those flashbacks. I mean that's decent volume for overnight right here. I mean it's decent. It's not nothing that you know I'll put a full port position on, but that's decent volume from overnight. I guess we have to wait until London to see what they really want to do, but I doubt that there's volume to blast off of this EMA without I don't know a news event of some kind, and then the algos kick in and they start to buy, which I doubt. So yeah, yeah, it's highly likely that we'll see a pullback here. I don't think that we see the market trend up. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think we get it. It's always I mean, unless we get a deep pullback, we're just going to get these choppy days. The Bears, being the rainbow bears that they are, they don't have any real motivation. It seems like after we had that big drop back when Biden was president, the earlier years back in what 2021 when we had that big drop. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it just seems like after that the Bears just has been aimless. It just seems like Bears are just shorting just to short. Uh, when given the opportunity to hold the pullback, they fail more often than not to hold the pullback. Uh, and because of that, it just seems like they're just aimless. Uh, the Bulls have more of a control over the market. They have more of an objective. They're always getting their market objective hit, and the Bears are always failing to hit theirs. This was a great area for the Bears to come back in, like right here at this chop zone right here. This was a great area for them to hold the pullback to get a move lower. But as you can see that they failed, and you can tell that the Bears failed because from this range, we can see the Bears getting squeezed out of their positions and using their short entries as support for the move higher. So that's a great example of the Bears failing. I know a lot of people would short this. A lot of people shorted this, including myself. I shorted this. I got stopped out. I flipped long. It was able to make my money back. I don't know why I trusted the Bears in this situation, but I shouldn't have. Another great example of the Bears failing to hold the pullback was this situation right here. We got a strong move down, break of structure. I mean, overall, it's still a bullish trend overall, but the Bears could have at least tried for a double bottom. They weren't able to double bottom, and the Bulls took control, and we got to move higher. Another example, another example of the Bears just failing. The Bears had this big move down. The Bears were somewhat able to hold a pullback here, but obviously the Bulls took control. So it just seems like the Bears are just unable to hold. The market is unsure of it just feels like the market is unsure about what it wants to do. Everybody is afraid of a rug pull, but once we get the Bears to actually step up and sell this market down with intention, uh buyers, aggressive buyers, are just buying the dip as it goes down until eventually all the bears they're absorbed, and we see a short squeeze back up, retesting highs, breaking above highs. And it really is exhausting. And this chop that we're seeing in the market is really not a surprise because people are just expecting a rug pull. Uh, I guess the market can continue to push off of good news about the trade deal, but we have a lot that's going on this week. Let's actually look at that. Uh, let's actually look at what we actually have scheduled for this week because we have a lot. We definitely have a lot this week. I wasn't aware that this thing did this. All right, so it's not going to show me next week until we get there. Okay, that's fine. We'll just use FX Streets for that then. This is kind of why I stopped using this. Why I stopped using this one. All right. So I know we got FOMC this week. Now we have FOMC on Thursday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. We have FOMC. Right now, let's get a so July 30th. So right now, the market is not expecting Powell to cut rates. What they're expecting is for Powell to hold steady at 425, 450 basis points. Uh, they do not expect Powell to cut rates this upcoming meeting, but the speculation is that we could potentially see a rate cut in the September meeting. If we do see a rate cut this week, the market will definitely react. We probably will see a big bullish push, a big bearish profit taking from the bulls. We'll see the bulls probably buy it right back up. Bears probably take it down one more, and then we'll probably see a move up from there. The market really wants a rate cut, and if Powell surprises us with one on Wednesday, uh, I that's my prediction of what kind of price action we'll see. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see for sure. We also have August 1st is the deadline for trade deals, which is on Friday. So that's definitely going to be uh, market moving. We have non-farm on Friday as well. More employment and labor market data. Looks like we have PCE on Thursday right after FOMC, but PCE may not have the reaction that it should have, uh, because PCE has power if there's no information from Powell. Once we get the rate decision, the PCE is not necessarily that important. It really isn't, because people use the PCE to kind of speculate on what Powell may do for the rate decision, but the rate decision it comes out before this does. So that data package drops before this does. So I don't think that we'll probably see a real reaction on Thursday, but it's going to react, of course, because it's a big news. We got JOLTS data on Tuesday. That's definitely going to be a market mover, especially before FOMC. And we don't have anything big going into tomorrow. So tomorrow may be choppy. We may get some chop tomorrow. We just have to pay attention and watch out for that. So, what? Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, I kind of feel, I don't know, this long on gold. I mean, it can go either way because I mean, depending on how you're looking at this, depending on how you can look at this, if we do see this thing, I mean, it'll be a trend line break. It'll definitely be a trend line break. So yeah, I got this new rule on gold. I have a time frame that I trade gold in and a time frame that I do not trade gold. My time frame with gold, the time frame that I do trade in is any time before 9, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I wouldn't start a position at around 9 o'clock. Um, Through back testing, it seems like with gold, anything before 10 o'clock, actually both overnight and during the morning session, um, the price action becomes very inconsistent. A great time to actually start a position in the morning is around 6:30, 7:30 Central. Those are the times where I find that the market is more consistent. Anytime after that, I kind of let the market set itself up because, like I said, it's not consistent. Um, the- Gold will not, sometimes it'll kind of overshoot in terms of it won't necessarily pull back. It won't necessarily pull back. It'll just kind of keep going down. And it's kind of like what it did here overnight, where it just kind of went straight down, straight down, straight down. It really didn't pull back anywhere. It just chopped down. And then around like 6:30, 6 o'clock, you saw a little bit of price action before it continued to go down. So I won't be trading outside those time frames. Just kind of make a little bit of rules with gold moving forward because I'm definitely going to keep these accounts longer. Because I'm definitely tired of losing accounts unnecessarily. So, all right. So we're not really getting anything in. Mm. Yeah. Oof. Damn it. Looks like gold and Nasdaq are being besties right now. They're both pushing right now, right off of that trend line. So I probably have to pull these orders because if it breaks this trend line, it's gonna be hard for the bulls to recover from that. So that won't necessarily make sense. Oof. Hey, Bandit Blitz, are you in a position right now? Are you actually trading this, or are you just watching it? Mm. I don't think gold did, unless it did. I don't think it did. Mm. Oh shit. Mm. Q25. Looks like gold rolled over. Mm. Uh, mm. Mm. That's interesting. So I mean, hmm. I mean, looks like the price is still the same though. I mean, the price is still trading around the same price on gold. Gold didn't gap up or anything. It's still trading at the the same price. Mm. Okay. There it goes. NQ making all-time highs. So it looks like the buyers are holding the pullback to the 21 EMA. So if we can get a strong move up, that will kind of confirm it would confirm the bulls holding this position. Unless this was a unless this was a liquidity sweep right here. But if the bulls can definitely hold, we should see a bullish continuation until we see the bulls actually fail to continue to buy this thing. So mm, I definitely wouldn't chase this. I definitely wouldn't chase this. I mean, in hindsight, the best entry was this pullback to the 21 EMA. There's no price action to the left, so how far this thing can go would definitely be a gamble. Hmm. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Yeah, of course. All right, we'll see. Okay. Mm, mm. All right. So let's see if the market's going to hold this trend line up. I mean, right now it'll be super dangerous to buy this. It'll be super dangerous to buy it this high. If you are going to be aggressive in this move, I wouldn't buy until it touches that 21 EMA again and hold. I kind of want to see a candle hold, a bullish green candle hold that 21 EMA and that trend line. That's what I want to see with a very aggressive stop because this is a very aggressive entry. I wouldn't full port all the way up here, but mm, it is definitely too bearish or it's too bullish to sell. I don't think anybody is going to be taking profits at these highs, and I don't think it won't be easy for the bears to take back control of this. I am still waiting on a pullback on this thing, especially with that big giant gap. I'm definitely going to wait for a pullback on this thing before I actually buy it. I'll just be an observer until position makes sense on this. I mean, I don't see anything on Bookmap that would suggest 520. Looks like there's participants sitting at 520, which is, I mean, it makes sense. You got the 50 EMA right there. We do got some heat around 560, which we're starting to see, a little bit of profit taking, probably partials getting taken off here. But this is not bearish at all. It hasn't shown any bearish structure. We're making higher highs and we're making higher lows. So until we see a break of at least a swing low somewhere, probably this swing low, I wouldn't even think about taking any bearish position. So the low of that candle right there is around 530. So let me just set that one up. So yeah, just like 530. Okay. All right. So hey, yo, what's up, Cave Trader? Yeah, I was able to get a little bit of this, Cave Trader, and I just closed the position. Was able to get a little bit of it. Earlier on in the session, I saw this gap up. I was actually expecting, so I didn't know what to really expect. I know that on Friday's price action, we saw the market kind of stop and chop, and the bulls held the pullback. So I did expect for the market to open bullish. I didn't expect for a big giant gap like this, uh, especially now that the U.S. has made a deal with Europe. Uh, this gap is to be expected. Uh, I am still looking for that pullback though, but we'll see what happens. We don't have any news tomorrow. We definitely have a very eventful week this week. This thing can easily come crashing right back down easily. So I wouldn't chase price all the way up in these highs. There's no more momentum in the market. Uh, and it looks like, at least since the last time we checked, the market has only added about 9,000, 10,000 contracts since the last time we checked. So it's like my goal position. I mean, I'm up 9 ticks in this position so far. I'm shooting for 90 ticks in this position. I have a scale in at 330. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely will be, Alfred. It definitely will be. Uh, this week is definitely going to be one of those weeks where I think it may be an eval week. This week potentially could be an eval week this week. Yeah. Or trade lighter than you used to, than what you're used to. All right, so we're up about 14, 15 ticks in this position. So far, so good. So far, so good in this position right here. Mm. Especially if we can get a price to break above these highs, we should see a little short squeeze to the upside. Especially if you can break above these highs, which it does look like it wants to do. Either what the heck is up with that? Probably get a retest of this high potentially. We'll see. Let's see what gold wants to do. I think gold kind of wants to take out that high. Probably retest R1, maybe somewhere around R2, maybe Friday's high. Where's last week's close? That's going to be a hot spot for sure. Yeah, last week's close, you can see that the market rejected multiple times at last week's close. I gotta remember that. Oof. Last week's close, value area highs and lows, market structure on gold. Beautiful areas to start a position. I was actually in a short position in gold and it missed me by a tick. And this is where it actually missed me by 2 ticks right here. It missed me by 2 ticks, and then it did this right here, which prompted me to put a trailing stop on my positions now. Let me make sure I actually have that trailing stop on my position because it actually did it did it this time. I scaled into it, and then it did it again right here. I was able to finally get this target hit, but this target that it missed, I had to take a small loss on that. So now I'm just going to have a trailing stop on my positions moving forward. And so now, uh, hmm, interesting. I thought I changed this. I'm glad I looked at this thing again because I thought I changed this. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. Yeah, if it does, if it hits that, uh, I'll leave that alone. Okay. All right. So we are getting a pullback to the trend line to the 21 EMA here. If I'm going to take a short, it would definitely need to break underneath this low right here. I would definitely need to see something like this, a break, and the bear is actually holding this thing right here for a move lower. But I know it's going to be uh, that short probably happens sometime overnight, probably like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Unless something comes out super crazy. Oh, you think so, Alfred? Hmm. I would agree with you. I would agree. A part of me is thinking that the Nasdaq will try to fake out and try to act like it wants to fill that gap, maybe like the first time. We all know that we're going to get that gap fill when everybody least expects it to happen. That has definitely been a trend with the Nasdaq. Hmm. The market is bullish until it's not, and it stops being bullish after we see a break of structure. Once that break of structure happens, it's highly likely that's when we'll see it. But at the same time, I mean, unless it's a really aggressive break of structure to the downside, uh, it can be easily bought right back up, especially at 477, Friday's high. We can easily see a buyer step up there, especially if they were short over the weekend. Right now, we're probably seeing a lot of sellers right now panicking, trying to sell into this move so they can at least try to make an attempt for break even. So 477 is definitely going to be a spot for sellers, especially if they're short at these highs and they didn't take profits at these lows. Yeah, I definitely agree. 24K. Let's go. Shit. We definitely will see a pump if Powell cuts rates this Wednesday. It's highly unlikely, but if he does, we'll definitely see a rate cut. You know, I was actually sitting there thinking about this. This actually came to mind when I saw that Powell and Trump was touring the Fed building where they're doing $1 billion of reservation, which is kind of ironic, but we're not going to talk about that. My initial thought, or at least the thought that came to me, is that Powell is probably trying to negotiate for a term extension. As long as he does not cut rates, he kind of has leverage to negotiate an extension on his position as Fed chair. And Trump is a businessman first and foremost. You can see that there is a lot of tension and that Powell was uncomfortable in that situation. He definitely was uncomfortable. He definitely was. But for whatever reason, I have this strange feeling that Powell come his the renewal of his term, I believe Trump will probably continue extend his contract, especially if Powell starts cutting in September and continues to cut. If he continues to cut from September to the time he's uh he's up for reelection, reappointment, and he gets back on good terms with Trump, I can see Trump extending his term. It's good for the markets. The markets is very comfortable with Powell. Powell has proven he was a Fed chair during COVID. He made well. I guess half of the market says that he's done a good job. The other half says that he was too late to act. So I mean, I guess the market is split about how he executed, but at the end of the day, that's who the market is comfortable with. Especially us prop firm traders, that's all we know. We don't know nobody else except Powell. So Powell, at least he knows he has our support. And I think Trump knows that. I don't think Trump is going to reappoint someone that nobody knows, because I think that'll do more harm than good, especially if he wants the markets to, at least during his presidency, to continue to be in an uptrend. Having a devil that we know versus a devil that we don't know, that can definitely cause a lot of confusion in the market. You have a unseasoned Fed chair. If he reappoints somebody else, uh, you have an unseasoned Fed chair. Maybe the market, he hasn't. This Fed chair would have to prove his competency or hers to the market, and it's going to take a while for the market to fully trust this new Fed chair, which could potentially have a negative effect on the stock market. And I know that's something that Trump is very, um, the stock market's performance is very important to him. So I predict Powell stays Fed chair. We'll see though. Yep. Yeah, Cave Trader, I think that's actually what's going to happen. I mean, because we all know that this is a political game. It's a game. It's not these guys, they're political opponents. They are opponents of each other. If you're not on the same team, that means you're on the other side, you're an opponent. The things that they say, they may mean it, or at least they say it in a way to make you believe it. But I think the only person that wasn't playing the game correctly, at least from what I observed, was Harris. She didn't play the game correctly. She didn't show up at none of the dinners, none of the meetings. You can see that she was actually believing the bullshit that she was spewing about Trump. You can see it at that funeral that she was appalled that Obama was speaking to Trump. And I think that was I think that was for good reason. I feel that Obama was in the background, obviously coaching Kamala and telling her what to say. And the way that she looked at Obama was like, this motherfucker, he was telling me to say all this and that about Trump. And look at him just sitting there laughing it up with Trump, making everything that I said look bad. And it was a bad look. It wasn't a good look at all. But that's just how the political game is. It says, damn, we try to get you arrested. We try to fuck you up. But through all that adversity, you came out the better man. Congratulations. That's how the game is played. It's business. It's not personal. They can sit there and be at dinners. I mean, obviously the low level Democrats, they're going to do what they're told. But the Democratic leadership, You saw that they all shook hands with Trump. They all was sitting next to him, talking to him, especially Obama. So I think it's probably the same situation with that's going to happen with Powell and Trump. Even though Trump talks about Powell 24/7 and says that he's too late, that he fails to act, the longer that he keeps interest rates higher, it's going to be more expensive for the United States to pay back its debts. Um, but once Powell starts cutting rates, I'm pretty sure, and he starts speaking positively about Trump, I think that's the proven way to get on his good side to get what you want from him is by speaking positively about him. All right, so it looks like that gold play is playing out, which I love to see this. Love to see it. Love to see this. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping that uh I kind of wish that I got in earlier on this play. No, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have gotten it. That's like the whole point. I guess what it would be is this would be the market trending or something because this pullback and we could see that, but we could see a retest of that high, but uh, yep, that's exactly right, John. He's definitely one of those leaders that if you kiss his ass, you'll definitely be on his good side. You'll get what you want. And Trump is like that, man. You can just tell by his personality, especially during his interviews, the interviewers, or not the interviewers, but the people that are asking him questions that show that puts him in a good light, that allows him to speak about the accomplishments of his administration. Those are the people that he tends to call on more often. Just look at his interviews, his press conferences. You can tell that he lights up. So yeah, you speak a certain way to Trump, you'll get what you want. Uh, Actually, that kind of makes me think about that South Park episode because that's exactly what they were saying too. If you show them in a positive, you show them in a positive light. I mean, it's pretty obvious that's a part of his personality. I mean, yeah, it's that I feel like that's obvious. Mm. You said gold is the king of the pump fake. I'll say in certain situations, yeah. I think I'll get my target hit, but I'm definitely going to expect some turbulence. I definitely will expect some turbulence in this play because we definitely got a lot of room for upside. It held that trend line. That's a good sign. Uh, I guess, I mean, we could see some resistance at this high right here. We could. We got this high up here. We got the 21, or not the 21, the 200 EMA that price is highly likely going to reject from. Uh, so we got plenty of room to the upside. So think I think I can get my target hitting this. And as you can see, I'm only trading 3 micro contracts and scaling it to 2. And that's how I'm going to trade gold moving forward. I'm going to trade these accounts as small accounts. Not I'm not going to even use up all of my buying power. I'm just going to stick to under 5 micros in gold. I'm still kind of playing around with the idea of how many contracts I want to trade with the Nasdaq because this will be a so I believe this is like a $180 loss right here. This will be a $180 loss, which I love that. And I can make about what 300 what is it? So I think if I get this target hit, this is a $270 win, which I will say that man, it does hurt my feelings to make $270, but uh I got to trade these accounts the same way I would trade a $2,000 account. I wouldn't be able to trade 7 micro gold contracts. Honestly, with a $2,000 account, I'll be lucky if I can even trade one. Because I think you need what $1,000 of margin per contract with gold, and so I would only be able to trade two. Mm. Yeah, I will definitely be keeping these accounts long term. I definitely got some rules. Uh, no more than 3 trades. Uh, After 2 losing trades, I'll have to stop for the day. If I have 2 losing trades back to back from each other, then I'm gonna try my best to stop trading. If I lose more than 3 trades, then I'll be done. And that's kind of why that those X accounts with those risk settings, I kind of wish that was kind of available here in NinjaTrader 8 to where I don't have to exert that kind of energy to fight myself because it's one of those things where it's like shit. I'm down. I just had 3 losing trades. I should stop, but it'll definitely be difficult to stop because I would have to accept that I was wrong and an emotional moment, which I can do in hindsight, but doing it in real time, that's definitely been a challenge because my competitive nature says, why the fuck are you stopping? I mean, your account is still active. Why are you stopping? You haven't been locked out. You can still take trades, go back in and get that money back. And it's definitely a challenge to follow rules when you just have a very competitive nature. So those risk settings definitely make that part of trading easier. But I just hate the fact that there's no trailing stop. So it's like, man, I just kind of, if there's just a perfect platform where those risk settings and everything else that I'm used to, I just kind of wish that all that stuff was available over here in NinjaTrader 8. That would be great. And I'll definitely start using ticks versus the value of it or points. I'll just start using ticks because I think ticks has the least amount of influence psychologically while trading. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be tough though, because I do think that we'll probably get like a retest, probably somewhere in this area. Probably get a retest and then a rejection, maybe. That's obviously not what I want to happen, but I have to be realistic that we could see maybe like some resistance at this area. But if we can get past it, then my target can get hit. Mm, yeah. Hey, what's up, Team Massive? It really depends. It really depends. Sometimes gold and Nasdaq can trade in tandem. Like right now, you have the Nasdaq going up, and we have gold recovering. So you can see correlations with these instruments at times. There was actually a day, I forgot which day it was, obviously. It was earlier in the year where the NASDAQ and gold had literally the same chart. They had literally the same price action. It was one of those days where if you went short NASDAQ and went long gold, you probably broke even for the day because they did exactly the same thing. Their charts look exactly the same. And then there's days where the NASDAQ goes straight up and gold goes straight down. Um, in my opinion, now that the market is trading more mathematically with quants and their algos, I feel that the correlation between instruments, it still happens, but it's not an indication of anything. On Friday, the NASDAQ and the ES did completely two different things. This is a Nasdaq chart on Friday. You can see that the market started off bearish and then we had this bullish move. And no, no, it wasn't Friday. It was Thursdays. It was Thursday's price action. Never mind. It was Thursday's price action because that's when the Nasdaq and the ES, two instruments that are naturally correlated, they weren't as correlated as they should have been. That was like the Nasdaq. That was Thursday, and the ES was more bullish than the Nasdaq. You can see that the Nasdaq was more bearish, and then it found its bullishness towards the around 9 o'clock, and that's when we saw the move higher. Versus ES, it only had a slight bullishness overnight, and then or bearishness overnight, and then throughout the day it was more bullish in the Nasdaq. So uh, it even faked me out right here. I still remember this shit. It faked me out right here, and then it did this crap. So it really depends. I feel like the instruments are kind of all doing their own thing, but at the end of the day, you'll probably see that they were on the same page. They just kind of did their own thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, no problem. Yes, visible ID. I'm using NinjaTrader 8. It really depends on what happens during London. It really depends. Um, we all know that the Nasdaq has a very consistent tendency of tricking market participants looking for that gap fill. She does it so often that we came up with a phrase: the first attempt to fill that gap is a trap, because it usually is. I wouldn't be looking for a gap fill on the first attempt. I'll be looking for the gap fill on a second or third attempt, not the first one. Not saying that it can't happen on the first attempt, but 9 times out of 10, the Nasdaq likes to trap market participants at that gap fill and then go in the opposite direction. Um, Kind of like what Alfred suggested, we have to see what the market does around the London Open, because that's when more volume is going to be injected into the market. Right now, we're only trading with 83,000 contracts. So we don't necessarily have the liquidity for the market to move. So I definitely would not be looking for the market to make a big move, because even if the bears were able to get the market to kind of break this trend line, I mean, there's areas where the bulls will definitely step up and they'll buy the dip, and it's just going to chop. So if you wasn't able to catch this thing at this bottom and kind of trailing it as it goes higher, uh, This would definitely be an aggressive entry at these highs if you choose to get in. It'll definitely be very aggressive, super aggressive at these highs. And we all know once you get aggressive with the Nasdaq, you tend to buy the high at the top as price goes down. Okay, so all right, so I kind of expected this. I expected to pull back at these highs, but I'll hold this out. I mean, I'll hold out. I'll hold out on this. Yeah, I probably would need to. At least on gold, as long as the bulls can kind of hold that EMA, hold that pullback. I do see like a small little range right here. You got the value area high right here. So this is definitely going to be our little hot spot for a pullback for the bulls to step up. If the bulls can hold this pullback right here, then I have no doubt that I'll get my target hit. Uh, because that pullback, the bulls will make an attempt for these highs again. We'll probably see at least a short squeeze. Hopefully, it hits my target. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, it should be good. And this is kind of why I enjoy trading gold because gold is definitely one of those instruments where you know when you're wrong and you know when you're right. If the market does a specific action, it's up to you to execute after it does something. Like if you're short in this area and price breaks above this high and it closes, well, unfortunately, uh, you're wrong. And I will be wrong if it breaks below this low. Uh, Honestly, I would prefer to have my stop underneath this low right here. I would prefer for that to happen, but um, if price comes back all the way down just to swipe this low right here, I think I'll be wrong in that. So I'm just going to leave my stop exactly where it's at. And I'll just see what happens tomorrow because I'll leave this position running overnight. So we'll see what happens. All right. So the Nasdaq, it does look like the bulls are trying to make an attempt to buy off the trend line right there, and you got the 21 EMA also right here. So I mean, this is definitely going to be a hot spot for bulls to try to buy it. Definitely going to be a hot spot, and it does look like, at least for right now, they are buying it. At least right now. Yeah, emotions are definitely one hell of a drug. Yeah, definitely. I'm just reading the thing with bookmap comments. Is everybody full port? Like I said, I would not full port this high. This would be a dangerous full port. Dangerous. We all know that if you're full port, you're not going to close it. That's so over the weekend, I definitely did exactly what we talked about on Friday. I took the time to actually think about how I wanted to approach the market moving forward. And as I said earlier in the stream, I'm going to trade these accounts as if these are small accounts. One of my biggest obstacles that I faced as I traded, I guess, how I wanted to trade was yeah, I would pass an account. Yeah, I'll get one or two payouts, maybe three if the market is being merciful. But it only took one day. Days like Friday, days like Thursday, Friday with all this chop, the Nasdaq, days like these took away my account because it would feel bullish or it would feel bearish, but it was actually bullish the whole time. And one or two bad trades took the account away. And that is mentally fatiguing. It's a mental fatigue having to start over from scratch, especially with these prop firms that require you to trade a certain amount of days, make a certain amount of money before you can actually pass the evaluation. A lot of the prop firms allow you to pass it in one day, and that in itself becomes stressful, especially if you're trying to pass it in one day, you're trading with heavier size than the account can actually handle if it were to turn against you. And so until the account or until the position is closed, uh, it's a lot of anxiety, a lot of cortisol, a lot of adrenaline, and it just becomes heavy. It definitely becomes heavy. So as much as I hate it, as much as my ego hates it, uh, I just came to the conclusion that uh, the process is going to be more important than the profits. Instead of trying to reach the minimum amount of days to get a payout, my focus should be more on weekly performance, monthly performance, what I'm doing throughout the month and taking a payout probably every 3 weeks to a month versus trying to get a payout as soon as possible because the numbers game has proved that over time, if you have a at least 2-to-1 position, that you can lose a couple of trades, but over time, your wins will take out your losses. You'll be profitable, and at the end of the month, you'll be able to take a payout. It's just the patience with it, and actually sticking to your rules, sticking to the plan. Actually, is how I should say it. Sticking to the plan. I have a tendency of playing blackjack in the market. You lose a position and you double down to get your money back. Uh, I do that. Not only do I do that, but if I'm turning in micros, I'm trying to get that money back in minis. So if I'm wrong on that side of the market, then it just becomes a bigger loss. And honestly, like I said, it's fatiguing. I'm tired of starting over. So now I'm just focusing on the long run now. I'm not even trading minis anymore. I'm strictly micros, no more than 5 micros. It doesn't matter what size the account is. The only account that I will be trading more than 5 micros is my Apex accounts. I will be only trading 9 micros in those with the Nasdaq, starting off with 6, scaling in with 3, and that's like a $400 loss. Yeah, it's like a $400 loss. It's like a 360 or $400 loss. Actually, let me. So that's 324. Is it 18 times 2 times 3? 108. 108. 108. Yeah, so it's like a $430 loss. Every loss is a $430 loss, which is not bad. So that's the only account that I'll be able to trade more than 5 micros in. All other accounts will be under 5. Yeah. And I'll trade gold mostly. Nasdaq. I want to just focus the Nasdaq on Apex. And then honestly, now that I'm kind of getting used to the smaller size, I might not even actually, but mm, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If I'll start off with this position sizing first, if this becomes too, if I'm not seeing the results that I want with this strategy, then I'll reduce my size and probably only have 5 contracts trading NASDAQ as well. Probably start a position with 3 micro contracts, but that, man, that's just so small, especially with NASDAQ. That's just so small. I can make so much more money than that. Nah, I'm gonna stick with 6. Stick 6 contracts. Mm. Mm. It's about 17 trades. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I definitely should see my target get hit. It does appear that I will see the market actually break above these highs. Mm. Team Massive. So I don't trade on time based charts. I trade on tick charts. Right now here on gold, this is a 150 tick chart. And when I'm drawing my trend line, it's basically, and this, for whatever reason, Ninja Trader 8 loves to do this, likes to move my lines. I don't know why. But I'm just drawing from one pivot point to the next. And that's how I draw my pivots or my trend lines using tick charts. I find that especially on gold or commodities, tick based charts are it gives a lot more information than time based charts. Hopefully that helps. And tick charts are volume based charts. Every tick represents a transaction. So in my opinion, it tells a better story. Uh, like right here, this is a 99 or a 999 tick chart right here. This is what like a 5 minute would look like versus a tick chart. I put like a 15-minute tick chart on this, or a 15-minute chart. That actually looks very similar to the tick chart, actually. It looks very similar. It looks very similar. I think yeah, the hourly based chart on gold. Look at that story it tells. Actually, I might keep this as an hour chart. Let me see. Let me see what this looks like. Because the hourly chart, I mean, this higher time frame chart, the only thing that I kind of want to take from this higher time frame chart is the direction of the market. Yeah. Mm. So on NQ, right here, this is a 1800 tick chart. I find like I said, tick charts tells a better story in my opinion versus a time-based chart. But I'm not saying that time-based charts are wrong. Everybody trades on what's ever comfortable for them. For me, trading with tick-based charts, transaction-based charts, it just tells me the story a lot better than a time-based chart. And I draw my trend lines the same way. A good example is this one right here. I'm just lining up the tips and readjusting if I'm wrong. But I'm usually really good at drawing these trend lines correctly the first time. Because you just pay attention to how the market is reacting. I might just do something like that. And you can tell because if I mean it's one of those things where it's experience. I'm not going to line my line up or my trend line. I'm not going to line it up with an obvious liquidity sweep. This is obviously a sweep of the liquidity right here. And you can see that the market finds support right here. And once I get my first 2 points correct, what usually happens is you can see that the market finds support at these trend lines. You can see it right there. You can see the false break of this trend line and the market coming right back. And this is when I know that my trend line is drawn correctly, when the market is using it as support and resistance as it's going. You can see that the market literally used the same trend line from all the way down here as support and resistance until finally the bears were able to finally get some resistance. It didn't touch it, but it got close enough. They finally was able to touch it, and then we got a drop from there. So this is how I know that my trend line is correct. But in my opinion, it's the first two right there. The first two touches. Oh crap. And once that's drawn correctly, the trend line kind of just pays. So hopefully that helps. But I don't think this trend line no longer matters. We'll see. Let me see. Actually, I might keep this trend line. Actually, let me lock this trend line in because we could see a rejection at this trend line. It's highly likely that we could, honestly. It's highly likely that we could. So we'll see if we actually we get it. But the one thing with the Nasdaq is, I mean, I got this rule where I won't start a position at so I won't start a position at a trend line. I kind of need some confirmation of the trend line. I just need to see the market at least react off of it once, and then I'll come back and see how it reacts afterwards and make my decisions from there. The Nasdaq is very iffy with trend lines. It really depends on the context of the market. You'll get the market to use the trend line as resistance, and then she'll break out of it just randomly, just for her to kind of still close back underneath it. And this is why I don't start a position at a trend line because of the fake outs. Because I mean, if you're a technical analyst, a breakout like this would suggest that the market wants to go higher. But not only did she lie, not only did she lie, she faked the bulls. The bulls got very aggressive, mind you. I mean, there was a swing high here. I guess taking profits here at this swing high would have been a great idea, but usually when you get a trend line break, it usually just flutters higher. But in this situation, she came back down and tried to close below the trend line, and then the bears got aggressive. And then when we finally got the real trend line break right here, that's when we started to see price flutter higher. So, yeah, yeah. So I like to have the trend lines drawn on my chart when it comes to the Nasdaq, so I can kind of know where I'm at on the chart. But I definitely would not start a position with the Nasdaq at a trend line. It works when it works, and it there are times where it doesn't work. So I'm just going to cancel off that scaling. I mean, at this point, if we do see a pullback here, I'm going to probably be wrong and get stopped out. So there's really no point of keeping uh, that scaling. I'm not going to adjust my stop. I'm not going to be cute about this. Uh, I could reduce my risk, but potentially, I mean, if I don't get this thing hit and it comes back and plays around, and then I'm trying to be cute with my stop by putting it at break even +1, and then I get stopped out, and then it turns around and hits my target. Yeah, I'll definitely highly be upset about that. So another rule that I have is that I just let my position play. Either it's going to hit my target or it's going to hit my stop. I have a trailing stop, or at least I think I should. I don't know if I switched it. I think I did. But after price goes in my direction, I think 87 ticks, my stop should come up. So I'll just allow the position. So yeah, I think dude, what the hell? Huh. Mm. So maybe I don't. Never mind. Okay. Mm. Mm. I could have sworn I did this. So I just want to make sure I did it right. I could have sworn I did that already. Let me just check this one more time because I could have sworn I did this already. All right. So, well, in this situation, this thing either has to hit my target or hit my stop. Uh, I thought I switched it to 87 and then my stop comes up 3 ticks behind. And so it kind of gives it a 1-to-1. So either it pulls back and I get stopped out at 84, or it's going to go to it's going to go to 3 points, 3 ticks, and hit my target at 90. I have a 90 tick target when I'm trading gold. So, okay. You're looking for a 511 entry. So, why are you looking for a 511 entry? What's your thesis behind that? Hmm, 511, huh? Well, I'll sit here and say this. I mean, if it stops at 511, I mean, shit, more power to the buyers there. It's currently entry to for a sell. Oh, okay. For a sell at 511. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, I mean, if we get a trend line break and we get price to kind of close above that swing low right here, that would definitely be more of a sell than a buy. But bears suck. So bears definitely suck. And I'm very comfortable trading against a bearish structure because it just seems like I said, the bears they don't want to hold anything. They break structure and then I mean they break structure down and then the bulls buy right back up. So it's like well, I mean if the bears ain't going to be intentional about completing their objective, then uh, every dip, at least in my opinion, I think the market sees every dip as a buying opportunity. Oh, that's interesting. This is actually my first time seeing this. Hmm. I didn't see this before. Oh, that shit pulled back to it perfectly. I didn't see that before. I gotta make sure that I'm paying attention to stuff like that. Looking for ranges and stuff like that. And look at that. Price pull back into this range twice. Oh wow. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't see this before. And this range, this market clue was there the whole time. I didn't see this. So it literally just pulled back into this range. And then we see the market move higher. Huh. I didn't see this. That's interesting. Well, Team Massive, I guess I should say thanks. Because if it wasn't for your question, I wouldn't have gone back and actually reevaluated the price action. I do most of my back testing on gold. I don't back test Nasdaq because honestly, Nasdaq is crazy. So I don't tend to back test Nasdaq. But I actually may need to start doing that. Yeah, but so yeah, I really appreciate you asking that question because it gave me an opportunity to go back and look at this and talk about it. And this market clue was right there the whole time. Mm, great question. But yeah, I mean the Bears get something going and then the Bulls just buy it right back up. So it's definitely hard to be a bear. It's definitely hard to be a bear. I mean, you get one day where you'll get price action like this where wow, it's a really massive move down, but then the bulls buy it right back up. Well, I mean, I in my opinion, I wouldn't set a limit there. I wouldn't set a sell limit so low. If you're looking to sell 511, I wouldn't set a limit there. I would but at the same time as your account, I mean, I don't want to discourage you from a potentially winning trade. I think I want to make that very clear. If you're comfortable selling 511, then shit, sell 511. But if you're asking what I would do in that situation, when it comes to selling, I don't set limits, especially not that low. Especially because I think what the session low right now is 504. So the market would actually have to break and hold underneath 504 for this thing to go down lower. And we already know that the Nasdaq loves to play games. She loves to play games, so I wouldn't set a limit. All right, gold. I think yeah, I got like 4 more ticks. I got 4 more ticks in this position, and once we close this position out, then I'll call it a night. So I'll try to do this manually if I can get it. If I can get it manually, I'll do it. But if not, I'm not going to fight it too much if I can get it manually. I just hate the fact that my trailing stop. mm, I mean, if anything, I'll just be losing 6 ticks. I'll lose 6 ticks. I mean, if it goes to 87 and turn around, I'll just lose 6 ticks. Which I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not going to be, but I guess 6 ticks over time can add up. Um, all right, I just need 10 more ticks. 10 more ticks. And I think we're testing the session high. I think we may have. We're testing. Oh yeah, we haven't taken out Friday's high yet. So we could see the market do exactly what it's trying to do now. We could see that. Let me look at bookmap real quick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. That should be good. All right, there we go. All right, so we're okay. I'm done for tonight. I'm glad. Okay, I'm done. All right, so Raider. So just curious, how long did it take you to get out of blowing the account? I still blow accounts, man. I still blow accounts. I just don't blow them as often. Uh, all the accounts that I blow is due to over leveraging and trading on tilt. Uh, the accounts that I've gotten multiple payouts, the accounts that I became a live trader in, those are the accounts that I've traded with smaller size, with reasonable size. That if I took a loss, it was literally a small um, loss, and a win would take it out, and I would be profitable. So kind of what I was explaining earlier. I'm no longer trading more than 5 micro contracts. If you kind of shift your mindset using these prop firm accounts as if they were small account challenges and only trading the amount of contracts that you would be able to trade if you had $2,000 in a personal account, you will definitely have these accounts longer. Yes. Uh, my strategy, and it's very similar. So I see a lot of people use this same strategy but call it different things. For ICT traders, I believe that this is the unicorn model. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure, but it's very similar. What I'm looking for is a strong move in one direction, and I'm waiting for the pullback to get in right here. And this is exactly what I did. I saw that this was a strong move right here in one direction, breaking structure to the left. It pulled back. We did see a strong move. It pulled back to the trend line, and I got in right at the trend line looking for a continuation. That's the strategy that I'm looking for. Instead of trying to chase and try to get in as it's going up, I know that if I missed this trade right here, that means a lot of other people missed this trade. You see a strong move in one direction, 9 times out of 10 is going to pull back. You're really not going to see the market go in one direction unless it's trending. And even when it starts to trend, it still pulls back. So if you just wait for that pullback trade, that's the money trade. That is definitely the money trade, is waiting for that pullback. Usually the pullback does happen in the same session, but if it doesn't, it's going to happen probably first thing in the next session. Here's another example. Strong move to the upside, waiting for that pullback and taking that trade. Strong move to the upside, waiting for that pullback and then taking that trade. I mean, it's the money trade. The same thing happens on the Nasdaq. I use this strategy during the morning session. You see strong move to the upside. Look where it pulls back. I took this trade towards the end of the day. I got stopped out of this thing right here. This thing pulled back into support. I bought it and got my money back on Friday. This is another good example of breaking out. And even though it did pull back in the same session, we did get price to continue higher. And then it pulled back into this same session right here. Now, I didn't, I just kind of drew this, but I mean, the concept is still the same. It still pulled back. And that would have been the money trade right there. No drawdown, no nothing, just straight up. So if you want a strategy, I think that's the best strategy to trade. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, man. I don't scalp. Uh, the reason why I don't scalp is because I've noticed a long time ago that I become very addicted to the adrenaline and the dopamine with scalping. Uh, I would get in. Obviously, I'm flooded with all kind of feel good chemicals, emotions, whatever you want to call it, and I get out of the trade. I'm up about $1,000 because I'm heavy and I'm scalping. And instead of being patient and waiting for a pullback or waiting for the market to tell me to get back in, I'm getting in exactly where I got out because not because I think it's a good trade, it's because I want to feel those chemicals again. I want to feel the pleasure of scalping again. And that's why I got out of scalping. It's dangerous. And if the market goes against me, I'm not going to, especially if I'm heavy, I'm not going to close the position. I'm going to let it blow the account in hopes that it comes back. And then even if it does come back, if it doesn't go in my direction, then yeah, we all know how that is. So I don't scalp anymore. I'm not saying that scalping is a bad strategy. It's just a bad strategy for me. So I don't do that anymore. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably that's like the best entry model. I mean, you can kind of see it too. Here's another example: a breakout. It pulled back into this area right here, and that was the money trade. You can kind of see this trade breakout, pullback. Look at the money trade. It's like that breakout pullback is that's the only thing that I look for. Uh, it's the only thing I look for. Hey, what's up, JT? But so Raider, I don't trade ICT. I'm more of a I prefer to pay attention to market structure, trading trend line, chart geometry, rectangles, circles, and squares. Rectangles, circles, and squares is my trading strategy. Um, the only reason why I referenced ICT is because I know that a lot of traders they trade ICT. So if I'm going to translate what I'm saying in a way that maybe a majority of traders are going to understand, it's going. That's the closest thing that out of everything that's in ICT, that unicorn model is basically the same thing. I think it's a breaker and a fair value gap in the same area or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm not familiar with it. I just know that that's what a lot of traders are looking for, which is basically that break and pullback. I mean, just to keep it simple. So that's why I use that term. Uh, earlier in my career, ICT, just like everybody else, his 2016 material, I didn't go past that. I didn't go past 2016 because after 2016, you can kind of tell that he kind of got high off of the recognition. I mean, as so, I mean, if you brought attention to the world, what he brought to the world, I mean, you'll start to think that your shit doesn't stink. I mean, it's human nature. And he just rambles and rambles and rambles and rambles and rambles. And I just couldn't take that. So I just stuck with his 2016 stuff because he was straight to the point with that material. And I never went past that. So anything after 2016, if it was something new, I don't know it. The only reason why I know about the unicorn model is because on my funded futures stream, I forgot his name, but he talked about the unicorn model. He explained what it was, and I was like, oh shit, that's just a break and pullback, the same thing that I'm looking for. And so that's the only reason why I know that what that is. So, but hopefully that helps. If you stick to just that trade, it's kind of hard to lose money. It's hard to lose money if you just stick to that trade. Sweeps and retests, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I definitely agree. That's the props that I will always give ICT is that he made a centralized language for a lot of traders to understand what we're talking about because uh, it's not just in trading, but it's in everything. The misunderstanding of communication. If I'm talking about something and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then everything I'm saying, I might as well be speaking Spanish if you don't speak it, or French if you don't speak it, or Creole or whatever. Uh, ICT definitely has created I mean, because none of the concept that he's teaching is new. He just popularized a lot of terminology And so when we have a conversation about it, we all know what the hell we're talking about. So I'm not an ICT hater. I do recognize that if at one point in time he was a good trader, he's no longer a good trader. That's pretty evident. So, but I will give props to where props is due. He definitely centralized the language so we can all talk about trading. So we'll leave it at that. Leave it at that. Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. My trading partner actually got props from ICT himself. That's a story within itself. Uh, that is a story. Actually, I guess we'll end it like that. But my trading partner was featured directly and indirectly on Top Step. Uh, During the episode that ICT actually appeared on Top Step X, I guess in the comments or something like that, that was actually talking about my trading partner's account, and ICT himself gave him props in that account, and everybody on staff was like, "Man, whoever this trader is that was definitely on fire." And my trading partner definitely was on fire during that time. I mean, he was unstoppable, unstoppable. In those trading conditions, he was trading. He was copy trading all his accounts, making $5,000, $10,000 in all his accounts, and yeah, he was on fire, definitely. So, well, he doesn't trade anymore because Elon Musk, he didn't like the fact that the slaves were actually having work life balance, so he had to go back in office. So, uh, Smith is definitely a momentum based trader. He he's actually this he scalps. He's actually yeah, he scalps. So that's why I said that scalp. I never said that scalping doesn't work. It's just that it doesn't work for me. But he scalps, and back when the market was actually fluent, it was a great strategy. Now, not so much. Not so much. Scalping in these conditions now, it's uh, especially if you're trading with heavy size, you definitely have to pick your spots to scalp. You definitely have to pick it because if you don't, you can definitely be caught up in some chop, maybe in a deep pullback. And if you're unwilling to close the position, you definitely can be on, you definitely can lose a couple of accounts. And that's the downside of scalping. When we would trade together, there were times where he was down 7, 10K. And the market came back in his direction and he was able to be profitable. So, I mean, you're going to have times like that. You definitely have to have balls of steel to hold being down 10K and just looking at it as like, okay, yeah, I'm down 10K. We'll see what happens. And the market was very merciful to him during those situations because it didn't have to be, but he took the drawdown and it came back in his direction and he was able to profit. So, like I said, that's the downside of scalping. But the upside is that you can make a lot of money real fast. So there he goes. There he goes. What's up? Yeah, it's quite yo, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, there's my trading partner right there. So I don't know what well, I don't know if you're in the chat. I wouldn't say that, JT. I wouldn't say that. Looks like our boy Alfred trying to replace the account. He's on day 3 on his TPT eval. He's trying to get his account back, the one he lost last week. So Hey, yo, what's up?
What up, bro?
What's up?
I
Here's the
just
guy.
hopped in, check out the stream. I mean, I'm about to go to bed, but I'm gonna try to catch this London session in a couple hours and let's see what's up.
What are you looking for? Or what do you expect to happen? This is probably a great question to ask.
I don't know yet. I mean, I want to see if they're gonna take profits or keep it going. But
Mm.
they take their profits and maybe try to look to, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe my bias is probably to continuation to the upside, but you never know with them.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, right now, price is kind of right in that trend line. It's holding the 21 EMA. I mean, there is that other trend line that's right there above price. So that's around what 600, 620, 615. So from 600 to 620, I'll probably be looking to see how the market reacts. Uh,
Hmm.
we'll see. See how the market reacts around that area. Oh, look at that gold play. It just took profits on a beautiful gold play.
We don't. I was man. I was having my silver charts up this whole time. I'm like, every time I look back at a silver chart, the move always it's already on to the left. Like I never. I never catch it in real time.
Mm,
I look back. I'm like Friday. Oh my goodness, Friday.
mm,
That drop. If you
yeah.
look at a silver chart, that drop. Oh my gosh.
And
Thousands of dollars.
yeah, I mean shit. I lost an account on gold on Friday trying to fight that damn drop with the trying to catch a pump. And it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the same thing happened on silver because that is just nasty, just straight down.
Yeah.
And I never catch that. That's always looking to the left. I'm like, oh my gosh. Where is this when I'm looking at it in real time?
Yeah. Like, why the hell you can't catch it? Yeah. I mean, if I look at a daily chart, I mean that drop on gold was kind of pretty. It's obvious if you look at a higher time frame or a daily chart. Because I mean, if you look at it like at what it did before oh shit, I don't got the date on this. It triple top at those highs up there, and I don't know why. I thought, hell yeah, maybe maybe it'll go long because I was just biased long on gold. But you got a triple top right here. And the market told you that it was not going to go up any higher than what it was. I mean, we're actually right here at 445. Got one, two, three, and then it drops, pulls back, it drops, pulls back, drops. Like, dude, this thing was telling us that yeah, there was going to be no pullback at all. It's clear to see on a
Yeah.
daily chart, but yeah, I mean, if you trade Nasdaq for too long, instruments like gold and silver, even though they tell the truth, they're ruthless. If you don't listen to them, you'll lose a couple of your accounts if you don't. The Nasdaq, you start projecting the Nasdaq onto those instruments, then yeah, your feelings will be hurt. Trying to catch a bounce that ain't gonna come. And then by the time it stops you out, that's when it wants to bounce.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I stopped effing with gold. Silver's probably like similar, but I still be looking. I'll be peeking at silver.
Mm.
But we'll see. Like I said, I got my eye on NQ right now. ES is kind of just
Yeah, dude, I don't even look at ES. It's just disgusting. This thing is
you,
just disgusting.
you're funny though, because the way the way you the way you bounce back and forth. I remember just it was a couple weeks ago or whatever, maybe a month or so ago. You like, I've never traded an NQ. It was all ES, ES and gold. And now you like, oh, FES.
Yeah, Dorsey, that is Smith, Brandon. Yep. Do I like gold more than
What up? What
Nasdaq?
up?
Low key, yeah.
Yeah, you do. It ain't low key. It's apparent. That blasphemy is apparent. It's okay. Yeah. But I see, but I see what you mean though. Like gold, even though I'm gold's number one hater, you can make a lot of money in gold. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Like you catch a move like Friday or whatever, or you've been catching the pump up. Yeah, you can make hella money on gold, but I don't want to take the time to understand their psychology. Their psychology is completely different on NQ
yeah, it
from
is.
NQ.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because I guess I have an understanding of gold because I learned how to trading CL. I I think if I never made that transition to CL, uh, trading gold would have probably never been something that I probably would have never gotten used to because Nasdaq would have been my only experience in the market, and I would have traded everything like I trade the Nasdaq. But uh, how I trade the Nasdaq is kind of low key how I used to trade uh, CL minus all the fighting the trend because obviously with the Nasdaq, you kind of have to fight the trend sometimes to be profitable, and you just kind of get stuck in that mode. You just can't fight the trend in CL. So uh, gold is just like how CL used to trade without the random pops out of nowhere. Like it's going to hit demand or it's going to hit supply before it reverses, and that's what I kind of appreciate the most about gold. You can make the same amount of money in gold with the Nasdaq without the craziness. Like, I mean, we took a perfect entry trade on gold. It was a perfect entry trade. I felt very confident because it held the trend line and it pulled back to the trend line. I felt confident in that trade. On the Nasdaq, I would have third, I would have second guessed that thing so much. By the time I figured, okay, this is the real thing, price probably would have been up here. But with gold is like, okay, well, I know I can get in. And the great thing about gold is that I can have a decent size stop on gold. And I can literally put it underneath the low. And I know that if it breaks and hits my stop, then I was wrong. Versus the NASDAQ will hit my stop and then go in my direction. You're not going to get that with gold. So it's like the psychology on gold. Uh, it's just so much better. I don't have any anxiety. I don't have any doubts. Either I was wrong. We talked about this price action before it even happened. That's just how confident I am with gold. If price was going to break above this high, I knew my target was going to get hit. With the Nasdaq, you just don't know. It can do it. 9 times out of 10, it will. But with gold, I'm pretty confident. So yeah, I like gold better than Nasdaq. But man, I love Nasdaq though. I can't ever let her go.
And that's see, I don't know. I'm so used to NQ psychology that it doesn't bother me anymore.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it still sucks when she does those random things, but I'm used to it. I'm used to the abuse, as we used to say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will say this. I guess if I'm going to use the same thing, yeah, used to the abuse. I didn't see how I was getting abused until I started trading gold, and I was like, oh shit. And then I went back to Nasdaq, and then just all the manipulative mind games was just so obvious. It's like, oh my god, this is the stuff that I was ignoring. Gold's sitting here telling me the truth and saying, yeah, take a short here. If you're wrong, stop out here. I mean, and then find the next trade. Simple. Nasdaq is like, oh, up. Am I going to hit your stop? Am I going to hit your stop? It's like, nah, I'm not going to hit your stop. I ain't going to hit it. And then she turns around and hit it anyway, and then hits your target. So it's all the manipulative mind games that you have to worry about with the Nasdaq. And she's abusive. I shouldn't be stressing and having nightmares about a freaking instrument, the Nasdaq. I shouldn't be having nightmares about the Nasdaq. I'm having nightmares about the Nasdaq, and I'm not even in a position.
That's what's so intoxicating about it. If you're not drink, I used to, not anymore, but when I was trading so much back in the day, I used to dream red and green. It would be some good dreams. I'd be like, dang, I dreamt I took this position and I was up. But mostly the bad dreams where you like
down.
Like I took this position and it went against me. But it was so real.
And you wake up sweating, then you run to your desk. It's like, oh my God. Yo, I literally had a dream that I blew my account, and I'm so glad I woke up. It was like, oh my God, it was a dream. Oh my God. Yo, I literally, I was so into it. I thought I blew my account. And dude, I was pissed. I woke up pissed. I was like, fuck. I just blew my damn account. Fuck. And I was like, oh shit, no, it was a dream. Okay. Dude, like, that's just a Nasdaq, man. Damn. I literally thought I blew my account.
That is too funny.
Yeah.
But I'm still holding them options positions, so we'll see. Hopefully, if I'm in profit, I think I'm gonna have to get out. I'm a punk when it comes to options, man. I do not like it's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though I still got all this time on them too.
Hold on, which ones do you have? You have open, and which one? What other?
It's just open now.
God damn, dude. Oh. Oh. Damn.
I hope this thing pumps.
Ah, damn.
Give me my Coles moment. Go crazy like Coles.
Damn. Yeah, hopefully, man, you get that, dude. Cause yeah, all of a sudden now this thing don't want to go. I mean, I don't know.
It's created a lot of supply. Yeah, it's created a lot of. Hopefully, we gap up above all of that, and I'm closing out. But then I close out, and then that'll be my luck, and then it shoots up to like $10, and I'm.
Dude, that's why with options it's like either it's going to hit your target or it's going to zero. There's no in between with options. It really is not. I think that's probably where I got that mentality with my targets, because you just get so tired of closing out the positions and then it goes to your target. And then the ones that you don't close out of it, it goes to zero. So it's like, well, you know what? Either it's going to zero or it's going to my target. I mean, there's just no in between that with options. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of,
It's tough. We need to gap up above all of that. Yeah,
dude, it swept that tough. High, and it was done. It swept that high, and then it just dropped.
And what did I tell you? I was like, there's probably a wall at $5 too, and it hit $4.97 and dropped.
Yeah.
I was like, of course, I call out my own demise. I'm like, I know there's a wall of sellers sitting at $5.
Dude, that's man. I think we do that a lot, man. We do that a lot. we usually do that. It's like, man, this thing looks like it's gonna reject here, but I want this target up here that is highly unlikely to happen. And
I'm
then,
like,
and then when it does exactly what we thought it was going to do the first time, we're like, damn, look at that drop. And I was on the daily. Oh my God, dude. Oh,
yeah.
the daily chart looks disgusting on the way down. This thing took what,
I don't,
10 years for this to happen? Look at
I don't know.
this thing. Okay, so from July 2024 all the way up into this low. Man, this thing literally almost took a year for this thing to do this. Oh my God. Just imagine holding this thing long for a year and find, dude. Oh wow. Yeah. With that context, just imagine people was holding this thing for more than a year and they finally got their break even. Yeah, they was gonna sell out of that thing.
Yep. And they crazy. They bold for paying out dividends too. That's wild.
For real, they pay dividends?
Yeah, you see the blue. I'm gonna pause myself before the blue D. That's what dividends. Y'all be wilding on here.
That's hilarious. Yeah, dude. Yeah, people were sitting in this position for years if they didn't close out of this thing. If they bought at least a double bottom, yeah, from
Yeah,
November
just to break
2024.
even.
Yeah, just a break even. Yeah, that's man. That billionaire knew what he was doing. He was in this. I was like, man, I need to get out of this shit. I'm bag holding this. I got the power to influence this. Yeah. So you say you got until August when?
It should be probably next week, August 8th. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Not on Coles, on yeah, I heard about Beyond Meat and
Neg.
Neg. That's what the hell's the name of that? New Egg.
Newegg. Really?
Yeah.
Neg? Really? Oh. Oh yeah, women use this shit to cheat. Is this the one that where it gives like the test answers? Is that what
No,
this
that's
is?
like no, I think they sell like computer parts and stuff, I think. Something like that.
Oh, really?
I think. I can't remember. Because it was a it's not his first time being a meme stock. They turned it into a meme stock before.
I didn't.
Yeah. Because the options went crazy. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, this is a daily chart. This is a daily. Are they selling it or buying it? Because well, I guess on Friday, this thing had a big pump on Monday last week. It had a big pump. But it just pumped into resistance though.
Yeah, because this thing, let me see. It was, look at it daily. When did that happen? Friday, July 11th. Damn. That mess pumped $20 on the 11th.
Beyond? Uh, you said it pumped
You
to
looking
11
at,
or a new egg?
look, New Egg on Friday, July 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing, yeah, this one been a meme for a while because it was up before. Let me see. I'm trying to find where it was.
God damn, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, that thing happened. Yeah, Friday 11th, July 11th.
Yeah,
Dang. Well, that would have been
this
nice. That would have been nice.
used
The
to be like
options went
around
crazy on that.
17. Oh yeah, yeah. Used to be around like 17, $20, and then it dropped
Hmm.
to like sub five, and then yeah,
Shit, it went from $28 to $56. Wow, in one
yeah, that's
session.
that's wild.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to catch one of those.
Don't we all? Shit, don't we all? Newegg was a go-to? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's confirmed. This trend line is correct. We have the market bouncing 4 times off this trend line. And so we got one, actually, that's the start of it. So one, two, and that's the third time that the buyers are buying off that trend line. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here because I'm gonna probably or I'm gonna try to come back for London
Mhm.
and just see how they react. If it's good movement, I'll probably take a trade or two. If not, I'll leave it alone and wait till the morning.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I'm about to get off too and go to club bed myself. So, but all right, guys, that's it for me. We definitely had a great gold trade. Uh, really great gold trade. We'll definitely come back tomorrow, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, peace.